Hi Aquarius, this is your general tarot reading for Aquarius Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of June. So Aquarius, there were big shake-ups last month in May. Things being hit by lightning and so on like that. For you it happened in your 4th house of your family life and your home life and your security, your foundations in this world. And they could have been rocked. And look at the first card that comes out. The foundations of your world could have been rocked. Yeah, I think we're on to something. I'm going to lay that card down there for anybody who hasn't seen my videos before. I talk about the energies, and then when I have all the cards that we need, Aquarius, we'll read them, okay? So, yeah, things have been rocked. What you once thought of as a secure thing, a sure thing in your life, is now completely up for change, up for review. And as well as that, the things that you once thought of as the traditional way of doing things, the traditional route, you're just saying, no, I'm going to escape this and I'm going to see my future in a completely new way where I can feel solid and secure in a very non-traditional way. And I love that about you, Aquarius. That is your energy. But it's been done here through the energies in it's kind of like a backward way. You like forward thinking, you like to break from tradition, but this time the energies are like they're coming at you from another angle, and you're not expecting a lot of these changes, but nonetheless they're important for you and they're important for your growth. So let's try and look at this big picture for June, Aquarius. You have the full moon in Sagittarius as we leave May and enter June, and that's in your 11th house of, it's an Aquarius house of your dreams, desires, visions for your future, wanting to achieve fame, wanting to move with energy towards something potent and powerful. And what you find with the full moon there is that you're coming to this realization that you're going to have to let go of your old vision of your future and completely and radically embrace a new vision for your future. And this is really moved on in a brilliant way by the Sun and Mercury in your 5th house. So it's a moment where you're saying that I have to go back to the drawing board. I have to recreate, I have to roll up my sleeves and recreate my life, but with a sense of passion, with a sense of heart, and creating a future that is only full of the things that give my heart pleasure and joy, with a sense of comfort and security. So this is the dynamic, a new vision for the future created by you, and allowing that to give you a new security and a bit of independence, as this next card suggests, the 9 of Pentacles. You have Venus there in the 6th house, so there's a moment, Venus in Cancer, feeling that you're happy at home, good things are happening for you when you give yourself time to relax at home a little bit and break away from the old busyness of life out there and set plans and goals for your future. You want to redefine how your day is being passed. You want to put new systems in place that every morning you wake up, you're able to have a schedule that seems to suit you better and that doesn't involve the traditional schedule of what you would call the matrix world. You want to step out of this matrix world. Saturn and Pluto there in the 12th house is really doing that, pulling you out of the matrix. Jupiter going retrograde in Scorpio in your 10th house, trying to rediscover a way to have a successful work life and career that brings you more joy and happiness. Now what happens this month is interesting because you're going to be kind of tested to see how badly you want your new future. There'll be a moment where you will have identified yourself as something. Hi, I'm Aquarius. I am a something, a computer engineer, a software designer, a healer, or a therapist or something. And you will have put years and years into being, hi, I'm Aquarius, I am this. And now you're saying, that's a trap. I've locked myself into a world that was wonderful and I learned an awful lot. But I need to expand. I need to break free of the limitations of being Aquarius, the one who is always identified as X. And this is where you're moving, and this is where June is really bringing you. There are themes here that also say Neptune, and that'll be going retrograde there around the 18th of June. Money is a big issue here. You do want to build your dream for the future, and you want it to be more authentic, and you want it to make you happy. But you're saying, can I do this and still have money? That's the big question, really, isn't it, Aquarius? Every time you try to do something authentic to yourself, you're so far thinking that there are no structures in place for what you usually want to break out into. So you find you have to create them. But in doing that, that involves time, effort, and energy being taken away from kind of making money while you're creating something else. And so you have to give yourself a break, as you're doing this. Don't worry so much about making money. The energy is more about shaping and creating your dream future. So let that unfold, let that be shaped, let that be organized, let that happen in the comfort of your home, and relax with the idea, draw strength from the idea, without being over concerned about where the money is going to come from. And I think as you are stepping out into this new future and creating your dream life, you will be met with the past. See, this is a moment in June for you where the future and the past collide a little bit. If you go back to your old world, there is security, there is money, and you are identified as being good at what you do. But it's not what your heart wants. Yet, if you choose your future, creating your dream existence, there's insecurity there. There's a lack of money. There's a lack of security. Which do I choose? And what you might find to test this, Aquarius, is that somebody from the past might come along and offer you, the Two of Pentacles there, offer you a position or money or a project that you would have once leapt at, but you can't. And this is it, juggling the idea. Two coins, the money. Do I choose the old money, or do I choose to break free of that matrix and make my own money? And why do you want to break free of the matrix, really, Aquarius? Because it's stale, it's stagnant, and it's time for you to surrender it. Because you've seen, as you've been climbing to the top of the game, whatever game you've been in, that there are too many limitations and restrictions, and that the people on top usually look like they have all the control, when essentially they're the ones that are so under control. They've so many rules and regulations in order to stay at the top. They have to comply by so many things that they're the most constricted of them all. They're the most powerless, actually, of them all. And you see this, you figure this out, and you're saying, I want to go through this. Be like a shadow, break out of the system and glide through instead, until I find a new place to start creating my own structure. Hopefully not your own matrix, the world that you lock yourself into, but a loose nicer structure, something that gives you energy and that you are happy to serve by giving your energy to it. Essentially, that's really it. You're tired of, you can't serve the matrix anymore, the structures anymore. You can't do it, but yet your heart has all this energy and love to give to something. And so now you're figuring out that the only way to do that is to create your own world outside of the matrix, so you can serve it, so you can adore it, so you can be involved in it. I hope that makes sense, Aquarius. It's energy I'm talking about here, and you'll figure this out as the month goes on, how that relates to you. But I'll just go on with some other. We've only 3 cards, by the way. Let's see why. Mercury in Cancer in the 6th house on June 12th, again giving order and structure to the new foundations in your life. Everything we've been speaking about, I can't even speak anymore. Everything we've been speaking about, you want to put order and structure on your new future plans, you know, as the King of Pentacles comes out there. And yeah, sure, you want the money too. I know that. I know that. That's not something that I've forgotten. And this is a long-term thing. But this month, I just want you to focus on the particular energy for June. Because even sometimes the small, subtle energies that happen within a month can radically change your future. And you want a radically changed future, Aquarius. So let's go with that. The Ace of Cups, yeah, you want stuff to be just of your heart's desire now, you really do. And this is cleaning out the old crap, recognizing in June that you're going through a cleanup process. You're taking all the data of your previous life and kind of sending it to the trash, you know, and starting again. And it's wonderful, starting again, new fresh starts. Now you have the new moon, the Gemini new moon again, pushing you forward in the 5th house of love, romance, things that give you pleasure. And we now know that the things that give you pleasure, for some of you it is your family life, where you draw your security, the people in your home that you love. For some of you it is new love that will be coming in around the 13th of June. And again, really, it's mostly about being able to communicate clearly to yourself too, not just to other people, what it is that you really want in your heart. I mean, if you've for a long time believed that it's not possible to have everything that you dream for, this month might give you a new little bit of wind in your sails to believe again that these dreams are possible. You have Venus then in Leo in your 7th house on the 13th of June. This is beautiful. Venus in Leo is all about, you know, expanding. Leo is the heart, expanding again the heart, and being kind of like the spirit of love, the embodiment of love, enjoying being in your life, enjoying being enthusiastic again about your life, and enjoying being in love. Some of you, I know it's the June new moon. This is usually in the Northern Hemisphere when people get married. And I know I shocked the hell out of you last month when I said the marriage card came out first, but here it is again, Aquarius. I know some of you around the 13th of June are making big grand declarations of love, and possibly solidifying a partnership. And it may not even be a love partnership, it could be a business partnership. The 7 of Wands came out there, so we're starting to move again with the cards. Things are moving. Neptune is retrograding in your house of finances. So again, I want you to be watchful, Aquarius, that people from the past don't come and dangle carrots in front of you saying, forget your dreams, forget your future, forget what it is that you're doing. That'll probably fail. Come back, come back. Come back to the dark side. We've got money. Could just be an illusion. could just be an illusion. And, excuse me, there'll be a moment. Oh, okay, Aquarius, a few cards jumped out there. I'm going to have to get them now. They're on the floor. Oh, come on. Could be just an illusion. Look what one of the cards were. The Master of Illusion and Deception. Yeah. The Ace of Wands. And then the King of Swords. So what is the Master of Illusion, Lies and Deception wanting to do? He wants, like I said, to draw you back into the old world, the world that you're trying to escape from. You're trying to escape the matrix. And this tricky devil is trying to give you all things that are glittery and gold to lure you back in. So, if there was ever a real time to believe in yourself and your dreams, Aquarius, this is it. June is it. So don't be fooled by these offers of money that may not be all that they're cracked up to be, and they may not be what you really need in your life. The Three of Cups. We're waiting on 2 more cards, Aquarius. Mars, the big one now. Mars is going retrograde on the 26th of June in your house of identity. So what's the point of all this? There'll be a moment, Aquarius, this month, and you're probably even feeling it a little bit in May, the 7 of Cups, that you've kind of lost your identity. Like I said, you've always associated yourself as being who you were in the past. And you're trying to move out into the future, and you're finding that there's nothing to grab on to that's solid, and then the penny drops that you have to make your own pathway into the future. But in doing all this, I mean, it's not an easy task to ask anybody to do. And there'll be a moment where you'll feel like you're free falling. You're like, who am I? I keep trying to look for answers in who I am, and I can't find any answers. I used to be the type of person that if somebody came to me and asked me this, I'd know exactly how I'd respond to that bullshit. Or I'd know exactly how I'd answer this. I know me. And now in June you're saying, I don't know me. I don't know the new me. And that's it. You know inside out who the old you is. You don't want to be that person anymore. You want to be the new Aquarius. And that's, like I said, it will be scary because it's a free fall moment when you escape that matrix and now you're presented with being a whole new person. First, it'll be panic. It'll be like, I am out of my depth. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know. So when that happens, I need you to promise me, Aquarius, don't feel insecure and don't panic, because that will be the very moment when you're feeling insecure and panicky that the old world will say, you've got a problem, I can solve this for you, come back, come back. Don't lose your self in the old. Instead, trust that, oh look, the moon came out, yeah. Things being a bit weird, and an extra card, the 5 of Pentacles. So, 18 minutes talking about the energies. It's important, Aquarius, that you know these things, because, as I said, your identity might feel very, very challenged. You might feel that you're not able to move forward with your plans, and I want you to recognize that's the exact moment where you've escaped the matrix and you are now free and clean, washed of the old, so that you can go into the future. I love it. I love it. So let's look at the cards, Aquarius. Oh, before I say doo-doo, by now I hope that you're seeing the overview so that you can follow what I'm doing here. So let's begin, Aquarius. The Tower, now we know what this is, everything we've spoken about. These cards are just reflecting the energies. Catastrophe? No. Lightning strike? Yes. Big changes, big sudden changes? Yes. The Tower representing your identity. You've been a tower of strength. You've been strongly Aquarius. And now the lightning comes and it's like, holy moly, I'm just free falling here. free falling. Look, there's the past falling, and the future is also falling. It's like, I can't grab onto either of these bloody things. I don't want the past, I don't want the future, but what's my option? I'm falling into the abyss. Help! But don't look for help. Don't feel that you're falling. Feel that you're floating, baby. Feel that you're free. You're free. And it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, but why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be uncomfortable if you're letting so many things go out of your life to create your new future plans, putting structures on them, blah, 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 trusting that the money will come? I mean, that's scary shit. But don't fall, glide. That's the point. And when you do, here you are, standing, independent, with the money. Nines always tell us that something has ended, but nines also tell us that something has been profoundly understood at the same time. And that's the energy of June, Aquarius. Something will end. You will find your new identity. You will find yourself very often alone. And that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be left alone so that you're not influenced by other people's ideas or concepts. It's where you should be, left alone. I mean, he's out there in his garden, in his field, and what's that old joke? He's outstanding in his field. Yeah, he is outstanding in his field, like you are. You will move towards a future where you're outstanding in your field of work. And that's what you want. And as long as you remember that's where you're going, Aquarius, then you're all right, baby. But like I said, the devil, see, on top and on bottom. On top is you juggling your life, you know, trying to manage your finances, money up, money down, money up, money down. Belief too, believing in myself is up. And then boom, I feel totally insecure. I've nothing to grab onto. Who the hell am I? Hello? Do you remember my name? Because I don't. You know, what was that Irene Cara song? Fame, remember my name, fame. Well, you're saying, yeah, I'm going towards fame, but I can't even remember my name at this point. I'm looking for my new identity. So can anyone remember my name while I'm going for fame? But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't panic. It is a juggling act, but don't panic. And like I said, if you're offered something that looks very interesting from the past, the big thing you'll be weighing up is stepping back into the past or trusting in your future. I wouldn't dare really tell you which to choose because it's your life. However, if you're somebody that likes to follow the energy and how things are moving, then you are probably far better off going into your future and leaving the past behind. And what is in the future? The King of Pentacles. The guy who's totally chilled out and relaxed. He's covered in grapes. So he's head to toe in wine, and wine, the symbol of harvesting something. The symbol of, you know, reaping the benefits, reaping the rewards. You know, taking it all in. You've planted something, and now finally in June, you're really going to begin to see the fruits of your labor. So that's why it's another good reason not to panic, Aquarius, because you will also get to see a little window into what could be. You see, there's castles there, but the castle is a little bit far away at the moment. And he's saying, I'm going to enjoy this moment in June where I see little sliver of what I can have, which is absolute abundance, by the way, the King of Pentacles, the one who's mastered his life, because every time we see Pentacles, we're talking about money, but we're also talking about self-value and soul purpose. And he's the master of this shit. But yet he does also recognize that his castle is a little bit still far away, but he still owns it. He still owns that castle. He's just not there yet. Remember that too. Own your future. You mightn't have arrived at your castle yet. Doesn't mean you don't own it. You have the keys, baby. It's just a little journey you have to go on to get there, to put the key in the door and unlock. That's all. Remind yourself of that. And remember to take it easy this month, because you're being totally wiped and erased of your past in some way. And you're being made to feel new again, healthy again, whole again. Some of you could actually be taking a whole new look at your health. If you maybe keeping an eye on how much you're drinking, smoking, if you're not getting enough exercise, even if it's just going out and walking for a half an hour, something, whatever the hell it is. There's a moment in June where you're saying, as I'm cleaning up my future, I feel that my body needs also to be strong. I feel that I need to get rid of all the psychic trash that's been lingering inside me. I need to remove all the crap, because sometimes our past can get stuck in our body. You know, old niggly pains, things that we've been carrying for years and years from our old life. There'll be a moment in June where you'll say, oh no, I think I can do something small that actually encourages a bit of healing. And you'll do that. But love is here. For those of you who are interested in love, there is a new love, and it will be very powerful around the 13th of June. This big expression of love, possibly with a Leo, possibly, because Venus is entering Leo there, but it's possible. Love in general is the big theme for you. Now here's the card. Beside being healed, we have you holding the higher moral ground, standing your ground. This is what we need you to do, my love. Stand your ground. If anyone decides to challenge you right now, they're assholes, really, because anybody who comes at you this month are trying to really play the devil. They're trying to distract you from what it is that you need to be doing. So if you're locking horns with anybody this month, or somebody offers you something that seems too good to be true, or something like that, hold your ground and keep your vision of what it is that you want for your future, and battle off anybody who is trying to stop you in some way from achieving what it is that your heart now desires. You know, that's really it. That you're going to have to fend off a few. This is going to sound weird, Aquarius. There will be good offers that come to you, and like I said a few times already, the good offers belong to the past, and you're going to have to be strong and hold your ground to resist the temptation of going backwards and taking the higher moral ground for you. Now, what is the higher moral ground? For some people, they see ideologies as the higher moral ground, or beliefs, spirituality as the higher moral ground. But this time, Aquarius, you're serving yourself and your future. So to have the higher moral ground in this instance is to serve your needs and desires and to serve your future. Anything done in that spirit is now serving the higher moral ground. And look at this, having the higher moral ground against who? This guy, Saturn, the one that comes to test us, to ask us whether we're the master or the slave of something. Have you recognized that you were a slave to the old world in some way? And the old world is dying and the new world is coming in, and he's saying, no, I can give you everything. See the things that are in your heart? They're not real. I can give you what your heart desires. It's money, power, a good job, a new position. You love this. You want to be top of the game, don't you? I can give you all that, baby. But you just have to step back. Come to the old world. And you're taking the higher moral ground and saying, keep your old world, keep your matrix, keep the shit that I've been locked into for too long, and go shove it up your Saturnian arse. And that's it. And I mean, we have Saturn there in the 12th house of releasing the devil, releasing your fears of going into the future as Aquarius with your dreams that come from your heart, of serving your future. You know, you're releasing the old devils that stopped you from being who you really want to be. You know, when we're kids, we say, when I grow up, I want to be this. Sadly, not many of us get to be that, a ballerina, or, I don't know, an astronaut. But this is you going back to that moment where you really trusted like a kid of, this is what my heart wants, and when I see my future, when I grow up, I want to be there, because that's what I really want. And you can do it without having the distraction of the old structure, the old security, the old way and traditional way of doing things. And once you get rid of him, you're given more power. You see, as you pass his lesson, because really, I know when the devil comes up, we talk about obsession and desire and and things like that, but very often it's more to do with your own real fears and Saturn testing you to see, have you mastered them? And if you do actually master them this month, you become more empowered. The Ace of Wands being reignited. It's like, relight my fire. Yeah. Once you break from the old, you're ignited again. The celestial hand coming out and giving you a new reason to live, a new purpose in your life, something new to serve, something new to adore, because fire is all about passion and adoration. And what we often, when we think of adoration, we usually think of people. What we don't often think of is that our life can be adored, our future can be adored and embraced and given energy and passion and love. And that's what's going to arrive for you mid-June. The belief again in yourself, you know, and it will come definitely, because the aces, I just believe it will come when you can pass all the tests of escaping the old world and entering the new world. That's what happens. Because when you leave the devil, the hand of God himself comes out and says, oh, you've passed the test. It's time to be given strength and energy for your future. And here we have now the King of Swords as we come towards the end of the month. This is you feeling more prepared in your mind to cut through any old lies, any old bullshit, and to use your thoughts and use your skills to really master the energies of June, everything we've just described. You know you can do this. We said that you in June might doubt your identity now because you once always associated yourself as being with a group or being with this blah 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 blah. Now you've got to trust that you know how to figure this out, because this is an air. Every time we see swords, we're looking at air, and you're an air sign, Aquarius. So don't forget that if you ever feel like you're free falling this month, you really have this covered. You have this. And the point of you feeling that you don't know who you are anymore is so that you go back to that moment where you used to trust in what your heart felt. And it's saying, no, go back and reclaim that time in your life when the only time you ever moved or did anything was because your heart felt it. And remember that you are the master of air. Air is your element. You can master the energies that are happening in June. You can master and cut through lies that are coming potentially this month. And you can be in charge, not in control, because that's not the energy right now. It's more about surrendering control, but you can still be in charge as you're surrendering, you know. Here we have beside that the Three of Cups, celebrating something. I know I said it, some of you are getting married June 13th, that there'll be either new love or a celebration in love, finding a new love, and really running with that and loving every moment of it. And in fact, it could be love, not just self-love, which is very important, but the love of other people that makes you feel less worried, makes you feel less like you have to be this mighty king with the sword who's going to chop everybody in two that comes close to him. It'll soften you. So allow that to happen. Allow love to soften you a little bit in June. And allow yourself to communicate this love. We sometimes say that this is either, say, Mercury in Cancer card, and Mercury is in Cancer, yeah, June 12th. So around June 12th and 13th, there'll be this, it'll become easier to express what it is that your heart wants. And once you express and communicate with other people and even with yourself what it is that your heart really wants now, you'll be able to put it to work, put a structure around it, and like I said, create your own little matrix world around it that's separate to the machine of this world, you know. So yeah, love will soften that and help you. Help you what? Help you see the future potential. This is the card of stepping out of the shadow. He seems to have no identity. He's all in black. The focus is not on him. And that was you for June. As we come towards the end of June, you're stepping out of having no identity and saying, the best thing about having no identity is that now I can be anything that I want to be. I can try this on, try that on. I can be whatever I choose. And that's that moment where you are free to understand that you've more choice and options than you ever thought possible. He, as he first steps out, also sees all these glittery gold things, and at some point does have to make a quick and swift judgment about which is real and which is just clouds in the sky. And as you come towards the end of the month, you'll have a much better grasp of that, Aquarius. Now, the very end of the month, the full moon might be a little bit tricky for you, because the full moon in Capricorn in your 12th house on June 28th, you might feel it a little bit before and a little bit after June 28th, but there may be weird moments and a few sleepless nights before you finally release yourself from the matrix. It won't be easy. It will be a bit challenging, but by the time you get through this, two things will have happened. You will become more secure, solid, grounded, and down to earth, with a great sense of foundation in what your future is doing. Because sometimes we look at the future and it's like ether, it's hard to grasp. By the end of the month, you will have put a nail and a hammer and pinned it down and said, no, I can make this my reality, and I have work to do now to make that become solid. So that's the really positive thing. On the negative thing, it might be difficult for you to say goodbye to people that you once considered important, that maybe in work, the boss, people that you probably once looked up to and said, one day I'll get to where they're at. And now you're saying, I don't want to be anywhere near where they're at. And that might be a bit difficult, might be a bit tricky. And it might feel like you're surrendering a lot. But don't worry, with the moon also and the 12th house, you're going to have huge psychic insight into what's coming for you in the future. Huge, a major download. You'll see, you'll almost have a moment of illumination where you'll go, I get it. I get now, through my little spidey senses and my little psychic light inside here, I know where I'm going. So it's a tricky month, but by the time it ends, your intuition will know exactly where to bring you in order for you to put a nail, a stake into the dreams and desires of your future and to make them become a reality. All your dreams will be coming true, Aquarius. I love when I get moments to say that. I don't often get these moments, to say all your dreams will come true. At the end of the month, it's true, Aquarius. If you are really paying attention to your life, your energies, and the energies around you, then it's possible that all your dreams will begin to feel like they're coming true. The last card, an unusual card, but it does tie in with what I've said. There will be a moment where you feel you're walking away from the good stuff. The good stuff is happening somewhere else. It's in here and you're out there. And it might make you feel a bit lost, vulnerable, insecure. These two people are destitute. And you could say, where do I go now? What do I do? Some of you I know are dealing with home issues, and some of you are moving home. And there'll be a moment of panic towards the end of the month where you go, has this been the right decision? Am I doing this right? Or am I making a big mess of everything? The answer is you're not making a mess of anything. In fact, you are making a mess of everything, because that's how you need to leave it, so you can go to something better and less freaking messy. You're kind of messing it up, so you go, oh no, that's just a pile of shit now. I can move to my future and not worry about leaving that behind. And that's what it's like. Oh, it's been a long video, Aquarius. I'm sorry, almost 42 minutes. But I just really wanted to share that with you, because I don't want you for a moment to lose your dreams for your future. And I don't want you to feel that you don't know who you are and that you're losing your grip on life. When the answer is yes, you are losing your grip on life, because it's the old. Now you're going to grip on to your new life, to your future. So no panic, baby, no panic. Golden rule for June, Aquarius. 0 frickin' panic. You've got this. You've got this. Don't panic. Aquarius, I'm going to leave it at that. And if this is the first time watching my videos, then please subscribe and join me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. She Bear Tarot is Facebook. And come back next month so we can continue to unfold this story to see where it's going. And in the meantime, Aquarius, I love you so much. And I'm going to, as always, leave you with a big kiss for the month. I love you. Mwah! See you next month, Aquarius. Bye.